To be talking about sugar with our guest, Doug Verrier, author of Fat to Skinny. And Doug, the proof is in the pudding. Check this out. These were his genes. Now look at him. Very skinny, and he's going to tell us why getting rid of the bad sugar in your life is the key, and I am totally with you. Tell me a little bit about this book.
I will.
Yeah.
You know, those are 48s, and I went from a size 48 to a size 32. Lost 100 pounds. I did it in 7 months.
7 months.
I did it 7 years ago, and I've kept the weight off all of this time simply by doing one easy change to my diet. I removed sugar and all the foods that metabolize into sugar from my intake. You see, sugar turns into glucose, and glucose is our fuel. We burn it all day long. And what we do not burn, we store as fat. People think if you eat fat, you get fat.
Right.
People think if you eat protein, you get fat.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
It's
Everyone
foods.
tells us to cut out the fat.
Right.
But that's not the case.
No, not at all.
What are these foods that you were talking about that we should be aware of?
Well, let's take a look at breakfast here for just a moment.
Okay.
This looks like a very healthy breakfast. You know, we send our kids off to school all the time with bran cereal.
Reminds me of the posters from school.
That's right. Bran cereal with some raisins, a banana, a little wheat toast, a little jelly, and some milk and some juice. But would you believe that the starch that's inside of that cereal turns right into glucose? The fructose in the raisins and the banana and the jelly all turn into fructose, into glucose.
Yeah.
And the starch in the whole grain bread turns into glucose. We then have sugar in our orange juice from fructose. 10 teaspoons, by the way.
Bad in orange juice.
Yeah.
People think it's so
No,
good
it's
for
terrible.
you. It's not. And so is the banana. You know, my cousin told I stopped eating bananas. She says, you might as well take the banana and just smear it on your butt cheeks. I said, oh, thanks.
It's true. So this breakfast is the equivalent, believe it or not, of eating a full cup of sugar. That's absolutely true.
Okay.
Now, over here we have a typical fast food lunch, and people are all, down on fast food.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the reality of it.
Okay.
It's not the grease and the fat that's causing the obesity and the type 2. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's the sugar. People can see the sugar that's in this soda. There's 14 teaspoons of sugar in this soda. What they can't see is the 14 teaspoons of sugar that's in those French fries. The starch metabolizes into the same amount of glucose as if you ate 14 teaspoons of table sugar.
Just the fries.
Just the fries. 8 teaspoons for the bun, and we have 3 teaspoons for the orange. And by the way, it could have been this juice instead of that soda, and you get just as much sugar in your bloodstream from that juice as you do from that soda.
And don't you crash afterwards?
Oh, sure.
Because I know that there are a lot of people say, I get so tired in the middle of the day, and then I slump, and you're sitting at your desk, and you go...
Boom.
In full disclosure, I cut out sugar from my diet starting January 1.
Yeah, and you look great.
That's why I love this and I dropped the pounds because I agree with you. I think this is genius. You're right on. Sugar is the key, and I don't feel tired anymore.
No, your energy's steady.
These slumps, it's steady all day long. What about this meal? Because I think people don't know that they look at pasta and they think, well, it's healthy, and especially if it's whole wheat, but why is pasta so bad? There's a lot of sugar, huh?
Well, let's start off by saying that we have a totally fat-free meal because everybody has this whole fat-free thing going on. But, that plate of pasta and those 2 pieces of bread metabolize when you drink some of this iced tea or even this flavored water into another full cup of sugar. There's 28 teaspoons of sugar in that pasta. Now, where does that come from?
Yeah.
Well, that pasta comes from flour. Flour comes from wheat, and it all turns into starch. So you've got all that gluten turning into starch in your bloodstream. The starch turns into glucose, which is your blood sugar. Like I said, we burn that as fuel all day long, and what we do not burn, we store as fat. So if you want to lose weight, up to a pound a day, or reverse your type 2 diabetes like I did.
Yeah.
I completely reversed it. I made myself healthy.
Huge problem in the United States.
It is.
Almost 75%, I believe, of our healthcare spending is spent on chronic illnesses, and diabetes is number 1.
You got it. And, obesity and diabetes is a national epidemic in our country right now. And I hope the White House is listening because I have the cure for obesity and type 2 diabetes. And it's as simple as removing sugar and foods that metabolize into sugar from your diet.
I think people are saying, okay, great. So what can I eat? What should I eat?
Great question, and I'll take us right over here to a table that we've got some of our solutions. You know, we talked about the bananas and the juice and such. Well, these berries are wonderful. A half a cup of berries is less than a teaspoon of sugar. The same with the blackberries.
Yeah. Dark berries, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dark berries.
This is SMAP cereal. It's made with soy, and it's a wonderful cereal. It's very flavorful. It's kind of like a Rice Krispie cereal, very crunchy, and it's very, very low in sugar because it's got soy as a base. These are very high profile, very high fiber breads called GT brand crisp breads, available on the internet and health food stores. Terrific. Replace your milk with almond milk. Almond milk is wonderful, and there's no sugar. Now, for pasta, this is a product that I found called shirataki tofu pasta, and if you look at the bag, it looks just like spaghetti, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But instead of being made with wheat flour, it's made with a soy flour. So there's very high protein, very, very low sugar. And this is a replacement for bread. It's a La Tortilla, and it's made again with some soy, protein.
Yeah.
And it keeps everything very, very low as far as sugar. Simple replacements. Of course, there's hundreds of them. When people go on diets, they lose weight. When they go off diets, they gain weight.
I sense this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change.
It is. The Fat to Skinny program has been designed for people that want to change their life completely. And I've written it so anybody can understand it. With all these little teaspoons where the sugar's coming from, there's graphics, there's large letters. It's written almost like a children's book.
And the myth is, well, that's how it has to be with this stuff. It can't be too complex.
Right.
I don't care if you're an adult or a child. It's got to be simple. A lot of people talk about exercise, and exercise is wonderful, and everyone looks at exercise as the way to lose weight, and it is great for you. But isn't it ultimately what we're putting in our mouths every day?
Yes, it is. Exercise. I don't like exercise. I just don't. I'm sorry.
And you say if you do what you're saying, you don't need to work out.
Absolutely not. And I didn't. I'll be honest with you guys. No exercise in my world other than my run to the airport.
Exercise.
Yeah, from place to place.
Buy this book.
I turn your body into a machine that utilizes the stored fat as fuel. It's just that simple. If you don't give your mouth the sugar as fuel, then the body has to burn that glucose all day long. So where's it going to get it?
Right.
It's going to get it from your waistline, and you're going to continue to shrink. And before you know it, these pants, if you have them in your closet, gang, they're going to just go away, and you'll be shopping for smaller clothes. Remove the sugar, get healthy, the Fat to Skinny way.
That's a great, I am so with you on this. This is a full-throated endorsement of getting rid of sugar from me, because I can tell you what it's done for me. I just feel better. Like I said, I don't get tired. But I really think at the end of the day, people need a very simple plan. And I think that's what you've put together, this book, Fat to Skinny. Doug Verrier, thank you very much. I hope everyone goes out and gets this book, because this is about health as well.